Get ready, America, for this is the best of Destination Small Town, a Kluk TV production, featuring the shows that have taken Sweet Swine County by storm. The reality hit, The Real Housewives of Sweet Swine County, Sweet Swine's favorite music show, Backstage at the Commune, the tastefully done cooking segment, Cooking It Up with Betty, the always zany soap opera, As the Corn Grows, and of course, the wildly popular talk shows that share what's happening inside and outside Sweet Swine County. Which shows will you be seeing today? Stay tuned and find out right after the break.
This program has been made possible by Purdue University, Sweet Swine County's Institute of Higher Learning, with 3 classroom trailers that can accommodate up to 9 students each. To learn more, visit sweetswinescoop.com.
The lifestyles led in the small towns and counties of the Midwest are like no other, but we seldom hear about the points of interest and businesses located in these towns. Well, there's one TV station that's made it their mission to make sure the stories of the small towns of the Midwest are told, Kluk TV. That's right, Kluk TV, located in the neighboring county of Sweet Swine. See all the towns that are covered on KLUKTV.com.
Get ready, because now you can watch a full of fun daytime talk show that shares the latest and greatest news about the people, places, and events found all over our story country. The Women of Sweet Swine County, hosted by 3 sassy ladies that tell small town stories with big town attitude. Now on this station and the web.
This program is made possible in part by Swine Tales Publications, the proud publisher of Sweet Swine County maps and plat books, now publishing authors from throughout Sweet Swine County. Swine Tales Publication is now making plans for their next book tour, and they may be held in these small towns, with the release of Plowing Through Life by renowned life coach Elmer Plow. Elmer shares his proven 5-step plan for a better life. With advice that includes get a grip and snap out of it, Elmer's program is so ingenious in its simplicity and detail. It's sure to help a couple of people. Each of these towns and their businesses are being considered to hold a book signing because of the information found on the best source about small towns of the Midwest. To learn about these towns and their businesses, visit destinationsmalltown.com.
You're in for a treat now, folks. It's time to look back at one of our favorite episodes of the Cocklebur Morning Show. Our Story Productions presents the Cocklebur Morning Show, where we weed out the big stories from throughout Sweet Swine County with Bobby Ray and Sally Sue.
Oh, thank you, and welcome to our show today. And what a fantastic show we have.
Yes, we do.
And we have to welcome you back.
Thank you, Sally Sue. I appreciate that very much.
We missed you so much.
Yep.
Where were you for 2 whole weeks? No explanation. You just made that call.
Well, the situation was this, Sally Sue.
Okay.
I have become, let's just say, really good friends with Clarice Plow from Hidden Away, Not Forgotten.
Clarice Plow. Didn't she write that book?
Oh, yeah.
About the women of Sweet Swine County?
Yeah, it's entitled Not So Sweet, a real page turner, let me tell you.
It's kind of a tell-all.
Anyway, Clarice, kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, Clarice asked if I would help with the book tour.
Oh, really?
Yes, so I tagged along, and I thought I could pick up some historical sites along the way as well, and also, be able to find out some more about those people that we could use against. Just some more research.
Yeah, research is always good, but Bobby Ray, honestly, 2 weeks, 2 whole weeks.
Well, I thought that I'd be back by showtime, but to get that kind of information, I had to wine and I had to dine. I spent my entire expense account on Clarice.
Your whole expense?
The whole thing. I spent every dime. I spent so much money I had to walk back to Sweet Swine County. I had to hitchhike.
Well, you must have done something really good because we got something. I have a note.
What'd we get?
got a present. It says
we
Bobby
did?
Ray and Sally Sue. Just a little present for promoting the book Clarice wrote, Love, the Women of Sweet Swine County. And I'm sure the hugs and kisses are for you.
Okay.
But
What did we get?
close your eyes.
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh.
I'm thinking the note is sweeter than the gift.
They must be confused.
I'm
Those
thinking-
poor girls. It's not the Cocklebur morning show.
No.
It's the Cocklebur morning show.
know-
But they're a little bit behind the curve.
And-
the elevator doesn't go to the top
Yeah.
floor, but that's okay.
And if you read the book, there's
Well, let me
a
tell
lot
you.
there
Let
that
me
has
tell you. Oh,
problems
let me tell you. And I
issues.
got some scoop right now. Why don't we invite our guest out today?
Yes.
I'm telling you, I'm excited about this.
I am too.
know.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is well known on national TV, has been on various talk shows. We are so pleased and proud to have with us today Martin County's own Tron guy, Jay Maynard. Welcome, Jay. Welcome.
Welcome, Jay, to our show. It's a delight to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Jay, it is a pleasure to have you here, but I have a question. Where in the heck did you get that suit?
I had it custom made.
Really?
The characters in the movie Tron, if you look,
right.
Their bodies are all green and the other folks who made costumes like this, they tended to make them out of white, and I felt that was kind of wimping out on it. So I actually went to Fleet and picked this color of paint and painted up the identity disc here and sent it off to a lady who I dealt with before and had her make the unitard custom to my size and match the color.
That
So-
is very unique.
So what did you use? I mean, there's soft
This
pieces,
is-
hard pieces.
Yes.
What did you use to make it?
The soft pieces are all cotton spandex.
Okay.
It's actually one piece covers the entire body.
Oh, really?
This is the same kind of hockey helmet that they actually used in the movie.
And that's an actual hockey.
That's an actual Cooper hockey helmet.
Wow, and you have all the wires.
Identity disc. That's
The
a
identity disc.
genuine
Look at that.
genuine
Wow.
whammo. This is formed PVC, and that's a football shoulder guard.
Really? Wow.
Wow,
Amazing.
And I understand because I've watched a couple of your national broadcast
Yes,
programs.
impressive.
Oh, very much so.
Yes.
And I want to know how the web helped you. But before you answer that, I think I'd like to give our viewers a treat, and let's see what Tron Guy looks like, lit up, lights off. Louis, hit the lights.
Oh, wow. Look at that. I loved it. Wow.
So now, as I was asking you, now, how did the web help this all take off for you?
Without the web, it wouldn't have happened at all.
Okay.
As I was making the costume, I was getting help from a lady in New York City.
Really?
So getting from here to New York City is not something you just jump in your car and drive across town to do. So I took pictures as I was going along and put them together for a web page for her so she could see the progress and give me hints. When it was done, I said, okay, fine, maybe other folks would like to make a costume like this. So I put the page up on the web for everybody to look at. And it became one of those pages that everybody emailed all their friends, hey, you gotta go check out this web page. And so without the web, it wouldn't have happened at all.
That's amazing. Now, in part of what I watched, you were at a convention, a computer convention, or electronics convention. Why don't you explain that to us?
It's actually a combination science fiction and computing convention.
Okay.
It turns out that the kind of people who go to either of those, there's a lot of overlap. Somebody notices, hey, let's make one that does both, and that was the first science fiction convention I'd ever been to. So I went to that, saw a masquerade, thought, hey, it'd be interesting to try to make a costume. And being a combination science fiction and computer convention, I thought Tron, being a science fiction movie about computing, would be a subject to draw from.
That's
Interesting.
brilliant.
Interesting. Wonderful. So when you're not Tron Guy, what do you do in the real world?
You know he doesn't do anything else except Tron Guy.
No,
How big did you
I wish I could make a living off of this, but no. big surprise, I'm a computer consultant.
Oh,
So
I'm
hello.
shocked.
Yes,
Yeah, I do computers for a living.
Oh,
makes
okay.
sense.
Neat.
That
neat.
makes sense.
So did you dress up a lot when you were a little kid?
No, not really.
Really?
I
No?
really didn't do anything in the way of costuming, with one exception, until this happened. The one exception being Renaissance fairs.
Oh, yeah,
I'd go
there-
to those in garb.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, the lady I bought the unitard from was the lady who I'd bought my tights for my Renaissance clothing from.
I understand. Now, that lady that you bought your unitard from, is she from New York? Is that the lady you're speaking
No,
of? Okay.
she was in Indiana.
Really?
And that's where she was.
So-
the lady in New York is a good friend who I'd met sometime
Okay.
before, and she helped me with things like paint and
Okay.
the techniques of doing it.
Gave you some technical
Right.
ideas. Now, when you were at that convention, I'll bet you got a lot of looks, didn't you?
Well, I did. I kept it very closely under wraps until the time of the contest. It was a masquerade costume contest, and the reason I did that is that one of the judges of that contest was a friend.
Okay.
So I wanted to avoid trading on that friendship. So I kept it very closely held until it came time for everybody to get together to have the costumes inspected before the actual presentation. And I was standing around in the hall just outside the room where we were meeting, and it turns out that she was the first one to walk up and see me, and she took one look at me and said, "Wow!" And that was the reaction pretty much the entire weekend.
That's great. How many people were there approximately?
About 500.
Wow.
And when I made the costume, I expected maybe 500 people would ever see it. Boy, was I wrong.
Been around the world how many times?
Yeah, it's gone well beyond anything that I had ever imagined.
So what other TV shows have you appeared on? I mentioned a couple of national ones. I was just curious.
I was on Jimmy Kimmel Live a bunch the year that this happened.
Really?
And what year was that, Jay?
That was
for viewers?
2004.
2004.
So it's 5.5 years ago now.
Okay.
It seems like a lifetime. But I've also been parody on South Park, and and I had no idea that was coming. They didn't ask me. They didn't tell me. The first I knew about it was when this same lady in New York sends me an instant message on the computer, says, "Turn on Comedy Central now," and we did, and there I was. My only complaint about that segment is that they got the voice wrong. I mean, listen to me. Do I sound like I'm from Minnesota?
Yes.
Sorry. Say something with an O in it. We'll see.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Pretty much.
I'm from Houston originally.
You've got a little
see.
southern twang. I thought I heard that. Okay.
And so they made me sound like I was from Minnesota, don't you know?
Oh, they get the you betcha, yeah, sure. Eh?
Not quite, but it made it. You could hear it in there.
Okay.
So the voice was wrong. Other than that, it wasn't bad.
That's great. That's
And I've been on Tech TV G4 a few times, and most recently on Tosh.0 on Comedy Central.
Oh, really?
That was just a month ago.
that's great. And what was on what program on
It
Comedy
was
Central?
Tosh.0.
Tosh.0. Okay. I've not watched that one yet.
I haven't either, no. So now, with all this national acclaim, how has that certainly has changed your life a little
Oy.
bit? How has that?
I refer to it as when my life got turned upside down.
Really?
The convention was the weekend of Tax Day 2004. And in the run up to that, I'm just your average computer consultant and toiling anonymously in Fairmont. And then the next week, it seemed like every radio station was calling me asking for an interview, and I did a lot of those. The folks from Kimmel called, and it's for a guy who's never had any of that kind of exposure. It's really something to get off of an airplane and suddenly turn into somebody important. They had, chauffeured limo at the airport, put me up in a nice hotel just down the street from the studio, the whole 9 yards.
That's great.
That's
That had to be.
wonderful.
And now you've been there how many times?
The total is now 16.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Yes.
And I had a lot of fun doing that.
I can imagine.
Wow, that's amazing. Right in Fairmont, Martin County?
Right next door.
In Sweet Swine County, yes. Amazing.
Yes. So Jay, what are your future plans for Tron Guy?
Generally, what I've found is that people that promote themselves on the internet get shot down in flames. The internet is probably the best detector there is of, let's say, pig exhaust.
I know what you mean.
Yes. So I take it as it comes.
Well, I'll tell you what, I just have one favor before we have you leave.
Mm-hmm.
Do us both a favor and do not appear on the show Women of Sweet Swine County.
You cannot go there.
Okay.
we really worked hard to get you here, so we prefer that you not be on the Women of Sweet
Oh, okay. Competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of. Just a little.
Just a little.
Okay.
Thank you, Jay, for
Thank you very
coming
much.
today. It
Yes.
was a delight having you.
You're certainly welcome.
Thank you to our citizens for their reports, and to you, our viewers, for watching the Cocklebur Morning Show, where we read out the big stories throughout Sweet Swine County. Bye-bye for now.
Bye now.
This program has been made possible by the Swine Song Commune, where musicians, artists, and hippie types live together and share their passions. To learn more, visit the online magazine at sweetswinescoop.com.
Who are these people and what are they doing? Well, they're talk show hosts, tourists, celebrities, and reporters from your neighboring county of Sweet Swine. Yes, I said Sweet Swine County, and they're sharing what they've learned about the businesses and points of interest in the small towns of the Midwest. Learn all that they learned on DestinationSmallTown.com.
This program is made possible in part by Swine Tales Publications, the proud publisher of Sweet Swine County maps and plat books, now publishing authors from throughout Sweet Swine County. Swine Tales Publication is now making plans for their next book tour, and they may be held in these small towns with the release of The Sweet Swine Diaries, a collection of unauthorized biographies by Cassidy Davis, featuring a riveting collection of the exotic, neurotic, chaotic, and even psychotic stories about the lives of the Sweet Swine County ladies. Miss Davis is quoted as saying, "I have never seen so many single women with so many problems in my life. Enjoy." Each of these towns and their businesses are being considered to hold a book signing because of the information found on the best source about small towns of the Midwest. To learn about these towns and their businesses, visit DestinationSmallTown.com.
Our Story Productions presents Cooking It Up with Betty, a saucy look at our stories. So, get ready for the one and only Betty Thompson!
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Cooking It Up with Betty. What a show I have planned for you today. I have roving reporters that will be giving us information from out in the field of what's going on out there in our Sweet Swine County and in the country outside Sweet Swine County. And I also am going to be making a special dish that I'm sure you're just going to love the recipe for this. And welcome my special guest. Today I have Clem Johnson from the feed store. Some of you know him. And let's welcome Clem. Excuse me, but you're not Clem.
No, and if you're referring to a Mr. Clem Johnson, you won't be seeing him for a while. He's been placed under arrest.
But why would you arrest Clem Johnson? He's the nicest man I know.
He was violating Sweet Swine Parking Ordinance 1.2-Subdivision C, parking for more than 2 hours in a commercial area. When he was issued a citation, he became belligerent, made threatening hand gestures to an officer of law, namely me. Therefore, he is now cooling his heels in a Sweet Swine County jail holding cell. However, that is not why I'm here. I am looking for a Ms. Betty Thompson. Is that you, ma'am?
Yes, it is. Why?
Are you the registered owner of a 1978 baby blue Cadillac, license plate number C00KIN?
Yeah, I am. Why?
Well, you are also in violation of a Sweet Swine Parking Ordinance, and I need to issue you a citation.
But I don't understand. I've always parked there. Cousin John, who owns the station, gave me that.
Ma'am, I don't care who gave you the parking spot. Sweet Swine Parking Ordinance 3.1 subdivision F clearly states that there must be a minimum of 12 inches between a fire hydrant and a parking space. Your space has only 9 inches. Therefore, that is an illegal parking spot, and we need to write you up a citation.
Oh, but isn't there anything we could do? Could I perhaps, I don't mind paying for the ticket. I just want to be able to use that spot. I run a cooking show and I have to bring the groceries and, could I move just 3 inches? Just 3 inches, the paint, 3 inches. I could paint it on the curb. 3 inches so I could use that. There's not another parking space within a block.
Moving painting lines, that sounds a little outrageous to me, ma'am. I apologize, you still need to be issued a citation.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I could put you on TV.
That sounds a little bit like a bribe, ma'am.
No. I'd love to have interesting people on my show. And why don't you just sit down here and try some of this wine? This is from a new winery over near Swine Creek, and it's really nice. Would you like to try that? Just have a little sip?
Well, I am on duty. I probably shouldn't.
Oh, go ahead. Nobody's going to tell.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm sure. You probably don't know this, but I have roving reporters out in the field. They go around and they find interesting places to visit. Then they report back to me.
Yes, I have heard of them. Not much gets past my ears down at the police station, you understand.
Oh, well, good. Then let's go ahead and have one of those reports right now while we enjoy a little of this.
Abby Appetite here, head reporter for the What's Cooking team. I'm making a list for my reporters to do stories on about the restaurants, cafes, diners, supper clubs, and bakeries in the small towns of the Midwest. You can see them all on KlukTV.com. Hey, let's pick one out and go there together. Remember, you'll be traveling with an appetite. Abby Appetite.
Lenny Leftover here, filing my latest report of What's Cooking. I and my fellow reporters have discovered incredible nightclubs and historic bars in small towns. Now you can learn what we've learned about nightlife options in small towns of the Midwest on KlukTV.com.
Wow, those look like some great places to visit. All those restaurants, they made me hungry. Now, you said this is a cooking show. Are we going to get cooking today?
Of course we will get cooking today. This is a cooking show after all. Today I've chosen to make creamy, cheesy cabbage hot dish.
Oh, I love cabbage. When I was growing up, my mother made cooked cabbage every fall. We had coleslaw all year round.
Well, cabbage is a wonderful vegetable. It's inexpensive. It is high in vitamin C and the B vitamins, and it's also got only 22 calories for a whole cup of it. So what I've done so far is I took the cabbage and I shredded it, and I cooked it just until it's limp. It's not completely cooked. You can see that it's just kind of a limp, and I've put a layer in the bottom, and I've made a white sauce with my special seasonings and some mild cheddar cheese. And I put about half of the cabbage in the bottom of my casserole dish, and now I put a layer of that on, and now I'm spreading another layer of cabbage over the top. Would you like to put the rest of that sauce on? Just kind of spread it around here.
Okay, here we go. Oh, those sauces really do smell good. I'm cooking it up with Betty here.
Yes, you are.
Oh, wow, this smells so good. Oh, those sauces. What is in that sauce? How do I get some?
Well, it's the special sauce, and that's my secret. But you know what? Because you're so sweet and you're helping me out here, if you will let me move that paint line, and I'll pay the ticket on it. But I mean, if you let me use that parking space, I'll give you a jar of this. How does that sound?
That sounds a little bit like a bribe.
Well, when we're finishing up here, I have just one more layer to do here. What we need to do, you want to take that red spatula, and we're just going to spread that out so that it covers all of the cabbage there. And then we're going to be adding some cheese and having a little trouble with that. Do you need some help?
I'm not much of a cook. My mother was the cook in the family.
Oh, was she? Well, anyhow, this just needs to be kind of spread around so that it's all covered up. And I know what you can do. You can put the cheese on. You put the cheese on. Now, then we will just garnish it with some breadcrumbs, which I have toasted. And I use my special seasonings there, too, just to kind of perk it up just a little bit.
Okay.
And we'll just do this. And then this has to go in the oven, and it bakes for about an hour. And while that's doing that, while it's baking, let's go to another report from our What's Cooking reporters.
Lenny Leftover here, just returned from the road. I and my fellow What's Cooking reporters have discovered incredible restaurants, cafes, diners, supper clubs, and bakeries in small towns. Now you can learn what we've learned on KlukTV.com. I found them so incredible, the only leftover was I, Lenny Leftover.
Lola Leftover here, filing my latest report of What's Cookin'. I and my fellow reporters have discovered incredible main courses, entrees, appetizers, and daily specials in small towns of the Midwest. Now you can learn what we've learned on KlukTV.com. I found them so delicious, I was the only leftover. Lola Leftover.
We're back. And while that's baking, if you at home would like a copy of the recipe, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to KLUK and make sure that you tell us what recipe you want. You will get the recipe and the secret seasonings. But if you go online, you can get the recipe and you can order a big container of the secret seasonings from there.
Well, this has been fun. I should have issued you that citation, but I'll tell you what, if you do move that paint stripe 3 inches, don't tell anyone I let you get away with this, and don't park there until it's legal. But I gotta admit, this was kind of fun. After all, I'm gonna be on TV, right?
Actually, you're already on TV. We've been filming the whole time.
Make it legal.
Thanks for being on my show. And thank you, my roving reporters, and thank you, my home viewing audience. Tune in next week. You just never know what's going to happen on Cooking It Up with Betty. Bye now.
This program has been made possible by The Daily Boar. This sometimes daily newspaper reports the news the residents of Sweet Swine County want to know. Also now featured online at sweetswinescoop.com.
Get ready for a website like no other. A website where you will find stories done by reporters, tourists, and celebrities from Sweet Swine County. Yes, I said Sweet Swine County. With nothing happening in their county, they decided to do some stories about the businesses and points of interest located in their neighboring towns and counties. Take a unique look at life inside the small towns of the Midwest by visiting DestinationSmallTown.com.
This program is made possible in part by Swine Tales Publication, the proud publisher of Sweet Swine County maps and plat books, now publishing authors from throughout Sweet Swine County. Swine Tale Publications is now making plans for their next book tour, and they may be held in these small towns with the release of It's You, Not Me, a guide to breaking up by Paris Ritchie. Born to wealth, Paris Ritchie is one of the most photographed women in the world. Women want to be her, and men fall at her feet. Although her love life is well documented in the tabloids, don't believe everything you read. Paris has had to kick more than a few lovers to the curb for what she calls shenanigans unbecoming of a Paris man. She's just a woman who knows exactly what she wants in a man and what she brings to any relationship. So if an affair ends, it's you, not her. Each of these towns are being considered for a book signing because of the information found on the best source about small towns of the Midwest. To learn about these towns, visit DestinationSmallTown.com.
Get ready, because now you can see a late-night talk show filmed in front of a discerning yet agreeable studio audience. Split Hoof tonight. Cousin John and his incomparable sidekick, Earl Silo, interview a roster of guests who make appearances that you won't want to miss. Now on this station and the web.